Assalamu alaikum. Recently on social media, there's been a vicious attack against the hadeeth, meaning the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, his words, his actions. And it's been growing, taking traction because, of course, without the hadith, without the Sunnah, you lose half your religion. Now, would you like proof for that? Well, there's so many verses, so I'll just give you a couple, and you can think about it, and then I'll give you more later, inshallah. This is from Surah An-Nisa, and it is verse 59. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم فإن تنازعتم في شيء فردوه إلى الله ورسوله إن كنتم تؤمنون بالله واليوم الآخر ذلك خير وأحسن تأويلا. In this first verse, Allah is addressing the believers, telling them to obey Allah and His Messenger, Prophet Muhammad, and the ruler, Ul Amri Minkum. Now, which ruler? Well, obviously it would be the good ruler who decrees what Allah loves, not the opposite. No matter how many people try to tell you it's, well, never mind. We're not going to mention names. Now, Allah is telling you to obey such, and if you argue, return your problem to Allah and Rasuli. Just how do you straighten out what is correct? You go back and you check what Allah and Prophet Muhammad had said. In tu'minu, if you believe in Allah and the Judgment Day. That's best. ذَلِكَ خَيْرٌ وَأَحْسَنُ تَأْوِيلًا. So Allah is saying this is what you ought to do. So now the second one that I've chosen along this vein, the Sunnah. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِن رَسُولٍ إِلَّا لِيُطَاعَ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ وَلَوْ أَنَّهُمْ إِذْ ظَلَمُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ جَاءُوكَ فَأَسْتَغْفَرُوا اللَّهَ وَاسْتَغْفَرَ لَهُمْ الرَّسُولُ لَوَجَدُوا اللَّهَ تَوَّابًا رَحِيمًا فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فِيمَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ ثُمَّ لَا يَجِدُوا فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ حَرَجًا مِمَّا قَضَيْتَ وَيُسَلِّمُوا تَسْلِيمًا. All right. Here, Allah said, He doesn't send a messenger except to be obeyed by Allah's will. And if وَإِن ظَلَمُوا, if they oppress themselves, they come and they ask you for forgiveness. وَسَتَغْفِرُونَ لَهُمْ رَسُولٌ لَوْ وَجَدُوا اللَّهَ تَوَّابًا رَحِيمًا. So these people know what they're doing. The Rasul, the messenger, comes. He's to be obeyed. But they oppress themselves. And then they ask for forgiveness. Isn't this what's happening? They know what the Sunnah says, but they can't do it for some reason. There are many reasons, but you all know what I mean. And Allah actually says here, they will find Allah forgiving and merciful. And then Allah, continuing with the translation, فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ. This is the qasam one. وَرَبِّكَ. We're swearing to you that you will not believe, or they will not believe, until they judge فِيمَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ, And here the word shajara is not the tree, it means argue. So they have to use Allah's verdicts, his messages with Prophet Muhammad. ثُمَّ لَا يَجِدُوا فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ حَرَجٍ. And then they learn those rules, and then they don't find any embarrassment inside themselves to fulfill what they learned. فِيمَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ. And then they will not find within themselves a difficulty, embarrassment, مِمَّا قَضَيْتَ, with what was ordained for them to do. And here's the best part. وَيُسَلِمُوا تَسْلِيمًا. And they will submit. Submit? Submit? Yes, that's what Islam means. It means you learn what's right, and then you say, سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا. We hear and we obey. You don't be like a Yahud and say, this is in Quran, سَمِعْنَا وَعَصَيْنَا. Yes, the Yahud actually said to Allah, we hear and we disobey. Can you believe this? Can you believe that they actually said this? It's in Quran. Like, what are you going to do about it? The more you study Quran, the more you become knowledgeable so that your mind can wrap around the insanity that we're living through. Allah is almighty and all-wise, and he is Hakim, and he knows what he's doing, and he doesn't make or allow or make, both would do, anything to occur. Malik as-samawati wal ard. He owns the earth and skies. He tells you how many times he's Malik as-samawati wal ard. And then we look and we say, what are you going to do? I mean, why are we observing this prolonged allowance of gross negligence, not only disobedience? Maybe we could give people a break that they don't know how to read, or maybe they don't get it, or if you don't get it now, if you don't believe when Allah says Yehuda, covenant breakers, time and time and time and time and time and time again, they get forgiven when they get messengers to talk to them. Allah gives them a chance and another chance and another chance. No. It's in their nature. Few, you will notice, of them ever turn to be Muslim. So I'm trying to get it, I don't want to be rude, I'm trying to get it through your head. How bad are these Zionists? How have they managed to cloud the issue to such an extent that the whole world is against them? So we're watching this Freedom Flotilla steam ahead, inshallah, with many scholars and religious representatives from all over the world. They call it the Spanish, I think, flotilla, but Allah will either send them in safety, or you may watch them destroyed or forbidden, banned from entering with their own. You know, the verse in the Quran says, يَمْنَعُونَ الْمَعُونَ. These despicable people will prevent aid. Ma'un. They prevent it. And they have their allies to help them prevent it. Your average person is watching this and saying, this must be an illusion. How can it be real? This is more than a person can, we say, istawab. Sometimes the words come to me in Arabic easier than they do in English, because Arabic's the words of Allah. So how can anyone istawab what's going on? How can you istawab? In English it means, how can you possibly understand, accept, or make excuses for these people? Don't they see that their end is going to be total dissolution of all that they dreamed for Israel al-Kubra? They call it Greater Israel. These are Zionists. We're not going to broad brush every, quote, Jew, but as I told you, that word is a smokescreen. It's an illegitimate label. So that you can't distinguish the tribe of Israel, who were chosen and did fight in the path of Allah. Yes, and they did use the word Allah. That was then. This is now. Not only do they not want you to know the difference between Banu Israel and the Yahud, they don't even want you to know the difference in the meaning of the words, let alone what it represents. Now, Christian Bible scholars might have a handle on it after a fashion, a bit. But the Orthodox of those in the tribe of Israel, they know very well. And that's why they don't participate. Will they ever accept Islam? Don't wait for it. I don't want to go into that very much because we can't broad stroke who are the Orthodox. There are different types. But they do march frequently with Palestinians all over the major cities of America and say, we don't believe in a promised land until Allah brings it forth. We will never get it through war. So I'm trying to give you like a heads up and tie it into what's happening. You know, today, September 4th, 2025, I ask you all to pray for this freedom flotilla or whatever it's called, that Allah allows it to bring aun at the hands of Europeans. Yes. You know, there's a verse in the Quran, I often mention it. La ya'lam junud Allahi lahu. No one knows who the soldiers of Allah are except Him. That's all you have to do. Tawakkul, depend on Allah, trust Allah. He's going to do the right thing. May not be exactly as we would like to see it happen, but the truth is, Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.